So, as you guys know, ons hou baie van stories, man. Julle ken ons hou van stories, and this is the first episode of. Our guest is already laughing. She's like, "What am I doing here?" This is the first episode of our podcast. It's the brand new venture of Namibia Media Holdings called Nothing But the Tea, because you guys know Mos. Baie. Yeah, ons hou baie van stories. And we like getting people who also like stories, you know? Because we're going
No
to...
comment.
She's like, I'm not putting myself in there. So my name is Elizabeth Joseph. You'll be seeing a lot from me. This is my co-host, Hansho, and we're joined with a very beautiful lady to our left. She doesn't need any introduction, but she's going to just do a brief introduction just to get you guys up to speed if you don't know who she is. Then we'll jump into our discussion.
Okay.
Hi.
I think like introductions are always just so nerve-wracking. Hello, everyone. My name is Chelsea Shikongo. I am a creative entrepreneur, and I am also the reigning Miss Universe Namibia 2021. And yeah, I'm excited to be here.
Brilliant. And you look lovely.
Yeah.
Thank
You
you.
don't even look like you work at an 8 to 9 to 5. Like some of us, I'm like, oh my God, should I go home?
Girl. Yeah,
I'm sure.
you should have seen me before I came here.
Hi everybody, I am Hansho Kapofi. But before I even get into my introduction, if you don't know who Chelsea is, what are you doing?
Please just go off of our live.
No, but like, I'm Hansho Kapofi. I'm very excited to be here. I mean, nothing but the tea. As the tea, but it's going to make it.
And also the
Okay.
copies, we just hear like, please give us more, we receive.
Yes, I'm really excited to be here. I mean, it has been such a great job that we did. I mean, just getting the Nothing But the Tea podcast to officially air, and now we're here.
And the journey, I feel like it's been crazy. As I was telling Chelsea before this, it took us about, just to be safe, say 4 weeks, just to set up this tiny studio that doesn't really look like much now.
Yeah.
Hopefully in the next few months, it will look like something. So the discussion for today is not going to be anything formal. We're just going to discuss pretty privilege, whether in the workplace, in society, and how we've dealt with it to a certain extent. Chelsea, what do you think about that?
Gosh, I mean, I do acknowledge that I do benefit from pretty privilege. I've known it probably since high school. You know, when puberty kicks in, you sort of see how people treat you differently. But I also believe that it also takes confidence. You know, you can be pretty, but if you're not confident, I believe that confidence is beautiful. It's being beautiful.
Yeah.
You know, you can create that image that you want to see if you're confident. So that's my take on pretty privilege. Like, I have this sort of lukewarm narrative about it rather than how society labels it, because sometimes I feel like society just labels things in a way that makes them feel like, oh, we are being left out. But it's just like, how are you being left out if, you know, then where does self-confidence come in, self-esteem, self-image come in if, you know, you constantly feel like, oh, pretty privilege takes away all these other opportunities that I can't get. Like, people who have pretty privilege take these opportunities away that that I could have gotten. But it's just like, what are you also doing other than thinking about the person just got that job because of that? But also it's like, some jobs just require you to be pretty to do the job. It has nothing to do with society or opportunities. It's like modeling. You know, you have
What
to
we
have
spoke
to look.
about.
Yeah.
Yes, I think we did speak about that earlier. I mean, they're just jobs that require. I'm sorry to say, but they're just.
That was set at the workplace in the restaurant where I went. You know, people are always like, oh, you can't catch too. They must only wear heels and what. But I mean, Verstangi, do you know where I'm going with this? I don't know. Call us vain, I guess then. I don't know if I benefit from pretty privilege, but I haven't seen it. Like what will then happen in the modeling world? Was there ever a moment when you felt like, shoot, this is not for me? Maybe because of how I look, or how I dressed, or how I present myself?
No, because I think my agency made it pretty clear that, you know, I am what they're looking for and I can do the job. And like, the more clients book you, you're like, okay, there's actually something here that they see in me. And it was probably my potential, but also that I had the look that they wanted to go for, and just breaking the status quo in the modeling industry. Because when was the first time we saw a woman with really short hair, like darker skin tone, woman with her natural, not even short hair, with her natural hair, not relaxed on an ad. It for me, I think I probably saw them only when I was in Cape Town doing modeling. I don't think before that I saw them. I don't even think I acknowledged them, because also somehow the advertising industry or the media to a certain extent controls that narrative of what beauty is or what it means to be pretty. So how do you put it? It's very like, you have to look at it from a perspective of like, this is a business for these people. And if you take it personal, you're just creating this certain type of mindset for yourself that's not even going to be healthy for you. Unless somebody maybe discriminates against you for not being, I don't know, for not being pretty. Is that even a thing?
Yeah,
like not being pretty enough, not fitting in probably that status quo. And it's like, how can you can't. And I guess it's hard for me to say that, because maybe, yes, I benefit from it, to say that you can't take it personal when people tell you you are not what they're looking for. You know?
And I think taking anything personal will cause you a problem, honestly. And I think that also just brings me back to what you said earlier about the confidence. I think confidence is very important. I myself have modeled. Guys, pageantry, I'm telling you, when you get into a room and you see different people, it can take a toll on you immediately. Modeling, you're like, everybody's auditioning. Then you start looking at yourself and you're like,
then you have to take off your shirt all of a sudden, and gosh.
And you know, with me, I always told myself, if I walk into a room, I'm gonna command the attention.
Absolutely.
You know, I'm gonna walk. Yes, ekas what, but
I'm
I'm gonna make sure. I'm gonna make sure that I grab all the attention, and because of my confidence, I'm able to, break that so-called narrative. So I think confidence is also very important.
So then, do we just completely throw out the phrase beauty is in the eye of the beholder? Because now someone will look at this and be like, yeah, Elizabeth, but beauty is in the eye of the beholder. Like, you cannot step into a place and say, I want to be a model because beauty is in the eye of the beholder. I'm sure that they'll just look at you like, wat gaan toch aan? So how do we change that to kind of like, to make sure that we sit on the tables where we want to sit, or where we It's getting awfully quiet up in here. Not all at the same time, please.
Beauty lies in the eyes of the beholder. I don't know if I'm going to get in trouble for saying this, but like, I think I agree with that statement to a certain extent. If I want to get into a relationship with someone, I can fall into love with their personality, with all those different things. But like, beauty lies in the eyes of the beholder, and I'm going for a modeling gig. That is something else. I'm so sorry, guys. But like, so there's like a framework to say that these are the margins we want you here. Like with in terms of the requirements when it comes to modeling or what. I haven't done anything. Hectic.
Gosh, how should I, So for me, I feel people who say, well, beauty lies in the eyes of the beholder, it's just like such a cringy pageant quote that people say. It's like, everybody, when they ask you like a generic question of like beauty, and then they go like, beauty's in, no.
Like everyone was created in his image. We're all beautiful. And
the thing is, you look like the person that you're supposed to look like.
Exactly.
And, I always remind people, you look like your parent or someone from your family. There's no way that you don't look like someone. And, the journey of acceptance starts with acknowledging that it's okay to have the things that you have. It's okay to look different. Trust me, if like, and, yet again, media, right? Influences the way people see beauty and the way they see themselves. Trust me, if having 3 boobs was trending right now, I'm telling you, all those Instagram celebrities would be having a 3rd boob.
Oh my gosh. It's so hard for me to even accept that is so true.
So it's just about, accepting who you are and finding ways to make it comfortable for you to be comfortable with yourself and how you look like and your image. Yet again, confidence comes into play.
Yeah.
And that's what makes somebody beautiful. When you're confident, that's what makes you beautiful.
Yeah.
Because also, who decided they are the ones that have to decide what is beautiful, who's beautiful and who's ugly?
Maybe even you that's deciding that you're not beautiful in someone's eyes.
Exactly.
So-
Like, why do you think that somebody needs to have that much authority over you as a
Yeah.
person? If you believe that you are the most beautiful person you have met, seen, have lived on this planet, then you are, and if somebody tells you otherwise, that's their opinion, and we have to stop trying to imprint other people's opinion upon us and understand that people right now, and that's the thing. When I find people that are like, oh no, I'm not on social media anymore because it overwhelms me. Like, I get that. But you also need to understand social media was built
Yes.
All right.
it's a
vain.
business.
Yeah.
People on there follow trends because
Yeah.
some want to make a business, some want to keep up with it because that's just the place that they want to be. But if you can't keep up with that, it's okay.
Yeah.
Right? But don't blame social media for things that you have probably also instilled in yourself.
Yeah.
And it just starts with like acknowledging, being aware, and really getting to a place of like, okay, let me sit down with myself and really talk about what are the issues that I have with myself, and why do I think that because this person benefits from pretty privilege was probably also just made by some group of people who were like,
you got that privilege because you're a pretty girl.
no, they're probably just like, I don't like this girl.
Yeah.
And then some form of word was made
Made,
just to
yeah.
make other people feel bad. Like, I understand and I acknowledge that there is a line with getting benefits
Yeah.
for being pretty, but also like, when is it pretty privilege, and also when is it just somebody getting this opportunity just because they look the way that they look?
Yeah.
Like there's a very thin line, and as much as we are now trying to go all deep and stuff, I'm also really nosy to know what are some of the most pettiest things that you have gotten, or that opportunities that you've gotten just because. And Hancho, you can sip that water because you can even mention someone buying you a cocktail, paying for your dinner without you noticing it. I want to know. Yeah.
Wow.
Let's start.
hectic.
Let's not all at the same time talk, because these two.
Hear from me. How can you still be like not married, like locked down, or like, and I'm just like, because I'm picky and like I have a preference.
standards.
Like, but yeah, that's probably the most. I don't know if it's vain. I don't know if it's petty, but like it was fun. I was like, okay, I'm getting like being a model. I was also getting paid to look like I was
look
look
like
like
that,
me. But yeah, there was. I think I was also just learning about. I think that moment, or those days when it was happening with that guy, really taught me about self-worth. Maybe not in the most healthiest way,
Yeah.
but I really felt like, oh my gosh, if somebody can pay me money, they never met me, they don't even know if that is my real name. Like, why must I stoop for lower standards, you know? Exactly. So
Why should I
yeah.
accept? Now you set the standard way too high. I was going to say, no, someone bought me a drink, and when I turned around, homeboy was not there, and I was like, oh my God, I look pretty. Someone just paid for my drinks. Homeboy was not there. It was in Cape Town. So I was just probably like, maybe it's what they do here. They just pay for your stuff. That was
yeah.
probably the most.
That
Wow,
happens.
that's actually interesting because here never be it's actually very different. They pay and then there's a lunch and
They come to your table. Yes, but in Cape Town, I experienced something so different. Like, you'd sit at a table, you eat your dinner and all of that. All of a sudden, you want to pay your bill, and someone is like, no, someone settled your bill. Like, what? What did I do? What did I do to deserve this?
Yeah.
Not
is
in
very
Windhoek, though. I've
interesting.
never seen that here.
Yeah, honestly, that is what we want. Not stories of, hi, do you want a drink? Yes.
Then
And
they come.
2 minutes later, it's now because you bought me a drink, you think you're entitled. We need to have a
Time,
conversation.
yes,
Hey,
Oh
hectic. Honestly.
Anyway.
But I love what she said earlier about acceptance. I know I'm taking us back, but I didn't get to say anything.
Yeah,
sorry.
Like, acceptance is very important. I think acceptance goes a very long way. And with me, you know, so many people always used to be shocked. Mara Junior, Mara Hancho, you are so confident. Like, what is happening? Like, I'm like, guys, it just happens. I don't know how. I think when you just sit down and you're like, you know what? I like the way I look. If I don't like it, I'm not gonna. If you don't like it and you can change it. If you can maybe lose weight, then try it. But if I like it and I don't want to lose weight, then I have to now start to learn how to embrace it.
Yeah.
Because if you're not gonna embrace it, everything that everybody comes and says is gonna be a problem.
Yes.
If someone just says, "It's this shirt looks a little bit big on you." Are you? You know, then it's gonna be a problem. It's just like.
Ag,
you're
my
being
mense ook net
suffocated.
van goed.
You know, because
Yeah.
I think the problem with people, they like to comment where they are not needed to comment.
Yeah.
So those little things are what's gonna get you in trouble. But like me, what you say about me goes in here, goes out the other ear. I laugh about it now and go. Like, honestly, and I think it's all about acceptance. Once you've accepted yourself, guys, it's the trick. Acceptance is the trick. But just because you've accepted it doesn't mean that you should accept a lot of like nonsense from what people are telling you. Just because now you love your body doesn't mean that you should just let people be like, oh, you're fat, you're
Just-
what,
Yeah.
Ooh, you came from
Body
Keetmans.
shaming,
Ah,
yeah.
Body shaming. Like I received a lot of that when I went to Keetmans for work, and then I came back. All of a sudden, I don't fit into my 28 jeans anymore. Now all of a sudden I wear size 34 jeans. And people are like, "Oh, Elizabeth, what did you daar gaan doen? What were you eating?" Stuff like that. I was just so over it because I had already accepted it there. Because the first thing you ever see is yourself, right?
Yeah.
So it's
Yeah.
not like I haven't noticed. That's the first thing I see when I wake up. So it was a lot when I came here. Oh my God. There I felt like I had no more pretty privilege. It was out the door and it's never coming back ever again. Yeah, not that I really wanted, guys. Sorry if I'm sounding vain.
No, I feel like next time when someone says that, I think just tell them, you know, everyone like like you're growing up. You
Yeah.
can't be like, why don't they say the same thing to babies? Obviously, they know that a baby will not stay the same size weighing
I
2
love that
to 3
analogy.
months. So, you know, because I had the same issue. I really had the same issue. And I was just like not accepting the fact that I don't fit in my old clothes anymore. And I was just like, this is not happening. And, you know, my partner was like, Chelsea, it's like you forget that you are growing up. You're
Yeah.
not the same age. You know, you went through things and your body is growing every day. So obviously
Yeah.
you're not going to be like weighing the same size 2 years from now. So this is just your body preparing you. Yeah. I mean, yeah. So next time just be like,
No, trust me.
We're getting older,
I was just like,
so-
you know what? I love the way I look now. I look a little bit more grown.
no, you look great.
Yeah, no, thank you.
Yeah,
Coming from
you
you,
look
oh my God, I'm
great.
going to go paste
Okay.
this in my room, like write it on my wall and stuff.
Honestly, you look great. Yeah.
We all do, actually.
Yes, we all do. Oh my God, I'm just about to air hug you all. But yeah, this has been such a wholesome topic. I believe that a lot of people needed to hear this. A lot of there are a lot of people sitting out there thinking, why am I not there? Why don't things happen to me? You know, stuff like that. And yeah, as Chelsea said, sometimes those are just the requirements where you go. There's no way around it. Sometimes you just have to accept yourself, be confident, and yeah, just allow yourself to glow in your glory. I'd like to say.
Yeah.
Yeah. So thank you guys so much. Thank you, Chelsea, for joining us here.
Thank you for having me.
We
I
loved
had a good
having
time.
you. Thank you so
We love-
much.
But before Chelsea goes,
Oh, okay.
Ooh, we have some stuff.
all right. So you know how we posted on our socials. We're gonna have Chelsea in studio. What would you like to know about Chelsea?
Oh, okay.
Some of these questions are just like, ooh, I tell her
Skip.
what stories.
They probably like, is she in a relationship? I hate those.
Gosh, people are so obsessed with other people's lives. I get why the Kardashians are billionaires. It just makes
You
sense.
can make money off of this.
Yeah, honestly. How can someone mentally prepare for a pageant?
Mentally, like they
Ooh.
I love how people thought I was mentally prepared. Like, no, honestly, because it's not easy. You
Yeah.
know, you just don't wake up one day and you're like mentally prepared. You have to, yet again, confidence, acceptance, There were countless times where I just wanted to quit because I was just like, this is a lot, especially financially. I had a lot of like financial stress, and it was really very difficult to deal with that. And I think even the whole nation saw me, even after Miss Namibia, going through that financial stress. What you can do is just like acceptance, like accept to work with what you have. If you can get more, do that, because yes, pageantry is expensive. So if you can get new things, go for it. But if you can borrow, rent, collaborate with people for items that you can use for your journey, do that as well. And that will help with little like to deal with the mentalness of the competition a bit more, because you have to be present consistently, because you have to listen, you have to attend the workshops, you have to prepare yourself for, you know, being on a big stage and, you know, the whole country wanting to hear what you have to say. I think those are one of the two top tips I would definitely give for, you know, how to deal with or how to have mental strength. Because that helped me, just being like, this is all that I have, and I'll use what I have to make the most of this experience, because it doesn't help trying to stress about a situation that you have no control over, you know. So.
Ooh, yes, collaboration is very important. Collaboration is very important.
I don't think Namibian creatives understand the importance of it, but hopefully we'll get to a place where it's so, you know, I get it. I understand why it's not, but it's important if we want to build an industry together.
Yeah, and also just to add on what you said, I think also in pageantry, it's just very, very important to enjoy the journey. Because if you are not enjoying the journey, it means you are very focused and you want that crowd. And believe you me, when you don't get that crowd, it's going to be a problem.
Yeah, it's like everything in life. If you're too focused, you're not really looking at your surroundings like, oh my gosh, I'm actually on this journey, appreciating how far you've made it, even just getting there. It's like the moment you get there, you're just sour. You're not even celebrating your friend that got the crown.
And honestly, just focus on, if you're still in school, just focus on school at this point, because being a model is expensive. And in this pandemic, no agency is just going to advance you. I was lucky when I started. The boss was very much interested in me. They made sure I got to South Africa and did what I had to do. But right now, it's very difficult. And the thing is, it's so easy for young people to ask for advice, but the thing is, they ask for the advice, but they don't practice what you give them. And this is why I charge people for advice now, because it's like you keep repeating yourself and telling them, you need to be patient. You have to finish school. You have to finish school, because you need some background if things don't go the way that you want it to go, because it's a very tight, tough competition. Today you are the it girl, tomorrow you're not, right? And you don't want to start doing things that will make you relevant, because you can easily get lost in the industry. And, you know, I don't want to sound like I'm downgrading the modeling industry, but it's also just something that you don't just want to be like, oh, I'm just going to do it because people tell me I'm a model. Do you want to do modeling? Do you understand what is expected of you, what you would have to sacrifice to be able to be successful in that industry? Because anyone can be a model these days, but it's just about if you can sustain yourself, if you can get there, and you know, like I said, I was very fortunate that I was one of those Namibian kids that went and I didn't have to ask a penny from my parents, right? But how many kids can do that? So I would advise them to finish school, go to university, get your coin, then you can be like, you know what, I'm going to become a model. I mean, George Clooney is still shooting perfume, guys. So it's not like you're like modeling's gonna run out, or like you're never gonna get that opportunity. But like time is not something that you'll ever get back. And education is really important. So because there's things like contracts that you have to sign. You need to know what you're signing. And if you are just like, oh no, it's there's money, oh yes, and you're signing it, you don't understand. You need to understand, yes, you need to understand what is expected of you, so that when it doesn't work out, you want to question what went wrong. That's my advice, honestly.
And guys, honestly, we might have to pay for that advice. So actually, guys, let's watch these things over and over again, because Dis iemand se brood, nee. So let's
Exactly, please.
I really
respect
agree.
the bread.
100% with it, because guys, like, timing is everything. Now you are leaving school to do modeling, and it's very important. Look at what just happened. COVID just came out of the blue. We don't know what is gonna come next, and the way everything was just shut down. Now you don't have a backup. Now you're at home, and your source of income is cut. You know? So these are things that you need to think of. If you are 14, girlie,
No, really.
No, we are not here to kill dreams, but honestly, let's
Yeah.
be realistic. Want
Yeah.
we saw ons hou van stories and ons hou van regte stories. We don't like things here. Is that the last one?
as much as we love stories, I wanted to read these questions, but I feel on some mense daar by Instagram, hulle hou te veel van stories. And
the questions
I'm not
are-
going to do that to Chelsea.
We'll do another episode just dedicated to Ask Chelsea, but then we have to now take out our dollars in, you know.
Yeah,
Magdalene nga, Vicky.
advice. Cost money.
Of course. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's wrap this up. As much as we don't want to leave here, you know,
Yeah.
we have to go. We have homes to go to. So yeah, thank you so much for joining us for the very first episode of the podcast. It was great to have you all here with us. Yes, and catch us in the next episode where we will be discussing trauma and navigating that through healthy relationships.
Wow.
So yeah, stay tuned.
Right.